Good morning. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in our opening hymn. We're going to sing Where Do We Come From, which is hymn number 1003 in your TL hymnal, but the lyrics are going to be on the screen. We're going to sing it in a round. First, we're going to sing it all through together, and then we'll have this side start and this side will follow. And the ERS is up here to help us. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Second time. Where do we come from? Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Have a seat, please. Thank you.
You can hold my hand when you need to let go.
I could be a mountain when you're feeling valley low. I could be a street light showing you the way home.
If you can hold my hand when you need to let go.
I want a house with a rod and a table and a place by the fire for everyone. Let us take on the world while we're young and able, and bring us back together when the day is done.
If we want a garden, we're gonna have to sow the seed, plant a little happiness, and let the love run deep.
If it's love that we give, then it's love that we reap. If we want a garden, we're gonna have to sow the seeds. And I
The old ones are talking of the ways of the earth, of the seasons and the stars, of the plants and the animals, of the ways of the human heart.
They have lived long and they have seen much. They have made mistakes and they have learned from them. They have tasted both joy and sorrow, and they have found their way through.
They are the old ones, the ones who have seen it all, the ones who know the way, the ones who can teach us.
So listen to the old ones, for they have wisdom to share. They have seen the world in all its beauty and all its pain.
They can tell us of the old ways, of the ways of the ancestors, of the ways of the land, of the ways of spirit.
They can teach us how to live, how to love, how to die. They can teach us how to be human.
So listen to the old ones, for they have wisdom to share. They have seen the world in all its beauty and all its pain.
They are the old ones, the ones who have seen it all, the ones who know the way, the ones who can teach us.
We light our chalice this morning, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith.
May it be a flame that welcomes us to come together in our search for truth and meaning. May it be a beacon that helps us remember who we are, where we have been, and lead us forward in co-creating beloved community.
May the wisdom of the ages speak through this flame and stay in us. May we be carriers of its light of radical welcome and warmth into wholeness, into liberation, into the one circle of life.
Good job, y'all. Thank you so much.
Good morning. Welcome to this Sunday service of the Eno River Unitarian Universalist Fellowship here in Durham, North Carolina. My name is Reverend Daniel Trollinger, Executive Minister here. And whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever your race or gender identities, whomever you love, and wherever you are on your spiritual journey and search for truth, meaning, and liberation, we welcome you here. If you're new to this community, especially if you're visiting for the first or second time, we invite you to rise and body your spirit so we may give you a warm welcome. Thank you for choosing to spend your Sunday morning with us. If you're watching on the live stream, please introduce yourself in the chat. If you have children or youth with you, they are invited to attend one of our religious exploration classes when the children are sung out after the time of all ages. We also invite you to fellowship hour in the fellowship hall for coffee and tabling after the service. Now would be a good time to make sure any devices on your person are silenced or put in worship mode. And let us center ourselves and welcome the gifts of this day.
The time on the projection screen tells me that it is the time for all ages. Oh yes, Daniel, you already know what to do. Come on down. Looking for our smallest and mediumist and tallest folks to come on down. But all of us, this is a story really for all of us, as you will see today. And, okay, any of you, if I forget that I put this right here, please remind me later. There's going to be a moment, and if I'm like, where did I put that? You all know where I put it, okay? Sometimes I forget things. So today, a lot of the service in here is about the wisdom of our elders. And what I realize is sometimes it is really easy for people to share the things that they know. Sometimes it is challenging, because how many of you have ever had a good day and felt really welcome and like you really belong someplace? How many of you have had a day like that? How many of you, and how many of you have had a day, even maybe if you felt like you belonged somewhere, or if you didn't, that you have been quite grumpy? Anybody? Now, everybody down here, I want you to turn around and look. Adults, keep your hands up. So like we know, we share that as a reality of all ages. Sometimes we get grumpy. And this is a story about somebody with a lot of wisdom to share, who also, I think, was a little nervous about being in community. And somebody had to kind of help out with that so he could share his wisdom. Captain Swashby loved the sea. The sea and he had been friends for a long, long time. The sea is a character in this story, too. She knew him in and out, up and down, and better than anyone. So when Swashby retired, it was to a small house on a small beach, as close to the sea as he could be. Whenever he needed something, the sea provided exactly the right thing at the right time. Life was just the way Swashby liked it, salty and sandy and serene, until squeaks and squeals sprang from the empty house next door, which was no longer empty. It had been commandeered by a girl and her granny who planted umbrellas, scattered beach chairs, and boarded Swashby's deck without permission. Now, I'm going to tell you, though, that sounds like a big deal, but I want you to pay attention to these people who moved in next door, because they are quite friendly, and they are big on belonging. Swashby battened down the hatches, hid when the doorbell rang, and fed their oatmeal cookies to the gulls. What a waste of oatmeal cookies, frankly. What a waste of any cookies, frankly. I'm showing my bias. I just want cookies. He didn't need neighbors. He didn't want neighbors. Neighbors were nosy, a nuisance, and annoying. So in return, he left a message clearly written in the sand that said, "No trespassing," which the sea, his friend, decided to fiddle with just a little bit. The sea felt like he might need something in his life. Sing, the girl read, and did just that. She sang every song she knew while dancing up and down Swashby's deck. "What now?" she asked. I gotta say, I think this girl very much has like a spirit of belonging, because it's like, okay, this guy is gonna be my friend, no matter what. So, "Now vanish," Swashby wrote later that evening, adding a starfish exclamation point. Not very friendly. But there is wisdom in Swashby yet. And the sea fiddled just a little. "Wish," the girl read, picking up the starfish, and did just that. She closed her eyes and began, "I wish..." "No, no," Swashby interrupted, stomping down the steps. "If ye mean to make a starfish wish, ye must say this. Starfish back to waves so blue, the sea will see a wish come true." Actually, fairly creative. "How lovely," Granny said. "We wish you'd come for a cup of tea, Mr. Swashby." But Swashby wished to be left alone. He grumbled and mumbled and hurried inside. He didn't need tea. He didn't want tea. Tea was civilized. Tea was friendly and neighborly. What he needed was a new message. "Please go away," he wrote firmly in the sand. But you know, the sea is his friend, and it thinks he needs a little help, so it's going to fiddle a little bit until it says, "Play." the girl sounded out, and she did just that, with Swashby's shells and stones, with his buckles and shovels, but her towers kept falling. "Barnacle bottoms," Swashby muttered, marching out. "You're doing it all wrong. You must not use the sun-baked sand. It's the sea sand that does the trick." We start to see some of Swashby's wisdom. And he showed her how to dig for the wet sand below. "Thank you." But Swashby was gone. Before long, amazing sculptures decorated the beach. "It's the clamshells ye should be using," Swashby called from inside. "Come play, Mr. Swashby," the girl called back. "Swashbys don't play," he answered, banging the shutters. So the sea decided to meddle, more than just a little. She inched her way up the sand and tickled the girl's toes. She nibbled on the sculptures and slurped away the bucket. The girl tried to grab it, but "Look at me," the girl called. "Look at her," Granny gasped. "Oh dear, look at her," as the little girl was being carried out to sea. Granny hurried to the water's edge, but what do you think happens next? What was that? Okay, maybe. What else? What do you think happens? Swashby gets carried out too? Maybe. What else? Oh, Granny gets carried out too? Oh no, that would be horrible. What a terrifying end to the story. Swashby was already there. Swashby dove right in. "What are ye up to, ye great salty imp?" he said to the sea, scooping the girl up and the bucket up. With a great big wave, the sea delivered the pair back to shore, and there was no stopping the laughing and thanking and hugging that was Swashby's reward. "I see what ye did," he whispered to the sea as he was whisked away to celebrate. After that, it was easy for Swashby to have tea with the girl and her granny, and ice cream, and lobster, and s'mores on the beach. It was easy for him to share his special sea glass. It was even easy for him to see that neighbors could be fun, and friends, and family. A little belonging, and a little wisdom. And when he had a moment to himself, Swashby carved a heartfelt message for the sea, which also had some wisdom, which the sea fiddled with just a little bit. The end. Now, don't go anywhere just yet, Ben. There's something I said I needed. Where did I put it? Oh, great. Thank you so much. Oh, okay, so we have one very special thing we need to do before we go, and I need your help. I need your help in two ways. How many ways? Great. And I'm going to need some of y'all's help in a moment, too. So this morning, we are about to honor and dedicate some very important people at ERUUF, and you are going to help us. You're going to help us in two ways. We are going to honor and dedicate all of the people who help volunteer and lead religious exploration. Now, because you are some of the people that they lead, all of you, we are going to ask you to bless them with flowers as a thank you. And you're even going to have a part to say a little bit later, but first we need to prepare these flowers. Are you ready? Ooh. Oh, geez. Okay, these are the flowers we're going to give them. And what's going to happen is somebody's going to give you a flower, and then you're going to give it to the volunteers when they come down. But first, we need to prepare these. So, can you put your hands out towards these flowers? Can you wiggle your fingers? Can you say, "We send you love"? We send you enthusiasm. We send you fun. Excellent, because we want to bless the volunteers with all of those things, so they have that spirit as they volunteer with you. And now we're going to secure these back over here. And Reverend Daniel and our speakers today, Virginia and Susan and Steve, When I say go, you're going to come up and get a flower from them so that you're ready when the volunteers come down. Are we clear as mud? You know what to do? You know what to do? You know what to do? All right. I'm going to sneak back here, and I'm going to get all official. Ready? I'm going to get official. And you can go ahead and very quietly start getting some roses. Go ahead. Okay, everybody else in the room, I'm very official. So there we go. This morning we dedicate our religious exploration volunteers who have been called to minister to our children, to our future, really. Without them to teach, to nurture, to challenge, to mentor, our religious movement would be greatly diminished. Indeed, it would die. Religious exploration is a lifelong process which integrates the wisdom of the world's religions and philosophies with Unitarian Universalism and our present experience of reality and our hope for the future. That's a lot to do. So at this time, almost at this time, yes, at this time, youth, you want to give out some flowers too? If there's some to give. See? With compassion, y'all. Okay, at this time, if you are volunteering for religious exploration in some way, if you would start to trickle down. And children and youth, if somebody comes down who's volunteering, if you would hand them a flower. And those volunteers, you can kind of come over here, because space. Could you noodle just a little bit? Some of you already got them. And children, if you haven't given a flower, you can always give a volunteer a second flower if they all have one already. I'm going to tell you this is a small section of our volunteers, too. Whoop. Are you okay, kiddo? Did your rollers get away from you? Yeah, it happens. It happens. All right. Are we flowered? All right. We will continue. Many people who discover our religious movement say they first came so that their children could have a religious but not indoctrinated experience. Many people who have long been a part of Unitarian Universalism have valued having a spiritual home that holds and supports their children's exploration. As children grow and discover our religious roots, you, the volunteers, will be on a journey. For some of you, it will be a new adventure. For others, a continuing experience. And we are entrusting the future and our faith into your hands. There are no words to express our appreciation for the work that you do with our beloved children. We appreciate the time, the gifts, and diversity that you are bringing to this program. And we want you to bring both your heart and your mind, your love and reason. And we know that you are fully capable and that you will bring your authentic self in all you do. So at this time, I'm looking for my RE staff. There they are. Come on down, Moritz and Gabby. Moritz and Gabby and I have a little bit of statement for you all, and then we're going to read some words. Can you pass these over to Moritz and Gabby? We are separated by a C. So in this spirit, we are going to dedicate these religious exploration volunteers, and we will start with RE staff. Can you join me in the words that I just sent to you? We dedicate these volunteers to be a crucial part of the nourishment of our children's spiritual growth. You who have chosen to teach our children will have the special blessing of being not only part of their religious development, but a loving part of our children's memories. Excellent. Volunteers who are down here, if you would point your eyes to the screen. and say this. We recognize the trust you are placing in us, commitment to respect the individuals they are, encourage exploration. And now, children and youth, if you would repeat after me in affirming our volunteers, I will say a line, you can repeat it. Some of you can just read it, though. We appreciate the time, energy, and love that you will be sharing with us this year. And now will the congregation please rise in body or spirit? Do you, as the congregants of this liberal religious community, covenant to nurture and support these volunteers called to minister to our children, as well as acknowledging the great importance of religious exploration for all ages? If so, respond with the words on the screen. And now, let's go ahead and get the lantern, because we are, in just a moment, once our lantern is lit from the chalice, we will depart for religious exploration. And all of you, as we exit today, one special thing, if you would like to wiggle your fingers towards the center of the space where we will be heading out, that would be lovely to give your blessing. We've got the lantern. Excellent, excellent. Is everybody ready? Our volunteers flowered? Flowered, excellent, excellent. Thank you, Maggie. We are carrying our chalice light over to RE, over to religious exploration. It happens sometimes. There we go. All right.
Peace, salam, shalom. 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 Please take this time to turn and greet your neighbor, especially if your neighbor is someone you don't know.
My name is Prue Cooper, and I'm up here today to tell you a little bit about a committee that I just joined. which is called the Healthy Congregations Committee. So the Healthy Congregations Committee, or the HCC, was formed in 2010, so about 15 years ago, when the board saw a need for a group that could help with conflict or issues that might arise within the congregation. And the mission, of course, is within our UU values, and so it's to navigate conflict in a way that involves empathy and compassion and collaboration, and also, directly working through conflict. So over the years, the HCC has provided support to ERUUFians and experienced conflict, and also provided some training in healthy communities. More recently, we focused on preventative and proactive measures to promote healthy relationships. So to this end, you might have seen some of the tips that we put in the e-news that comes out. And we're also co-sponsoring with the Theory of Change Committee a workshop that's coming up in October. And that's going to be led by the Reverend Teresa Cooley, who's written a book on transforming conflict. And this workshop is open to anybody who's interested. So there will be more information about that in the e-news. If you'd like more information about the HCC, or if you have questions or thoughts for our committee, you can look for myself, Susan Green, or Stephen Edgerton. Those are the other two current members of the committee. I'm usually at the second service, and Steve and Susan are usually at the first service. I'll hang around in the coffee hour a little bit after session, so if anybody wants to talk to me today, I'll be there. Oh, and one final thing, you too could be a member of this community. So if you're interested, it's a 3-year term. It starts in July, and we will have a spot for a new member this coming July. So if this is some work that you might like to do, I would encourage you to reach out to the nominating committee. All right, thanks for your time, and I'll look for you over in the coffee hour.
Please join me now in the spirit of meditation and prayer. Spirit of life, we enter this time together with a longing to know connection, resisting the urge to rush to the next moment and the next. Let us pause and acknowledge the gifts of this day. We are blessed with the space and opportunity to live out our common values, to bring justice, equity, and compassion into our daily lives, to resist all that threatens the earth and her people, and to embrace our dream of a world community of peace and justice for all. Each week, we also hold on our hearts joys and concerns, be they global, local, or here within our ERUUF community. We hold all those impacted by the recent incidents of gun violence and school shootings. May compassion and empathy guide the way forward to healing the heart of the world. We hold on our hearts all children everywhere, that they may know care, love, and belonging. We hold on our hearts all those who mourn, that in their time of grief they may know comfort and support. We hold on our hearts all those who may feel lost or alone. May they know hope and connection. And let us also take a moment to hold all those joys and possibilities that lay before us in life. Let us appreciate the joy of being together in this very moment as a fellowship. Let us be the welcome we seek and embody the community we crave. For when we come together centered in love, we truly can live into our mission to transform lives. In a spirit of unity, together we breathe and honor this moment in silence. And so it is. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be.
Our meditation hymn this morning is called Be Still and Breathe. It is a new song from our new online hymnal called Sing Out Love. So the lyrics are on the screen. Be still and breathe, be still and be. Listen to heartache, listen to grief. Be still and breathe, be still and be. Listen to gladness, listen to joy. Be still and breathe, be still and be. Listen to anger, listen to hurt. Be still and breathe, be still and be. Listen to beauty, listen to grace. Be still and breathe, be still and be. Listen to you, listen to me. Be still and breathe, be still and be. Be still and breathe, be still and be.
Almost 60 years ago, a small group of committed folks came together. It began to clear a path forward in starting this fellowship that we now call ERUUF. We are here because of their vision, their creation of a covenantal community that has evolved in the decades since. The seeds planted by the founders and the subsequent members along the way have grown tremendously. The seeds of spirit, service, justice, and love. Later this program year, we will be celebrating the 60th anniversary of this fellowship. Stay tuned for events. Today, as a community of shared purpose, we have an opportunity to listen to some of our elders, those who have been part of this fellowship for many years. And their stories, experience, passion, and presence, we have a chance to learn and grow. We also have the chance to reflect on what we each may offer as seeds of our own to help this community thrive. We are often shaped by or influenced by living examples. Yes, words matter, but often the greatest impact in our lives is embodied values, lived experience. This is true at any age. Yes, children are our teachers too, but it is especially true with our elders. The gifts of lived experience, the embodied wisdom of life's journey can serve as a bridge that connects our past, present, and future. This is one of the ways I've been shaped by this community, by learning from the wisdom of the elders here, noticing how they resolved problems, cultivated relationships, and worked for justice, and how passionately they care about something greater than themselves. Some of these elders are in the room. For many years, I have watched you build beloved community, face many challenges, and embody incredible generosity. But one of the things that's been forever impressed upon my heart is how much you care about this place, this community, the shared ministry and mission of the fellowship. The truth is, none of us would be here today without the commitment, sacrifice, and vision of the elders. In order for this community to continue to thrive, all of us are needed to show up online or in person, to bring our full selves, our questions, our gifts, and our love. This is what creates community and has sustained ERUUF for many years. In our service this morning, we honor and appreciate the wisdom of who we are together as a community to help guide us as we move forward. We are growing. We're growing in membership and programming and capacity for justice and compassion in the world. We are expanding the ways we connect and communicate. We are co-creating a future full of incredible potential and possibility. Even as we move forward to do all the planning and implementing, let's pause and listen and appreciate the wisdom that is in the room. Today, that's a few of our elders sharing. But beyond this service, let us continue to notice and gather the gifts that are available when we take time to be present and listen to one another, face to face, heart to heart. Every voice is needed to create and harmonize the fellowship chorus of spirit, service, justice, and love. May it be so.
I am a long-timer, only sometimes very active, member of ERUUF, while still trying throughout to do my fair share to keep the fellowship functional. I began at this fellowship when I moved here in 1972. Finally locating the meeting place, husband Redford and I found about 25 attendees, not the 200 attendees of our previous congregation. Members planned all of our Sunday programs. From my perspective, like in our former congregation, focus was on the world's major religions as also good and worthy of respect. Most members had personal community involvement, but outside the fellowship. A big expansion came when the Durham Chapel Hill UU Fellowship sold our financial slice of the Friends School, raised their pledges, and bought a cinder block previous church. Now we played volleyball together about one night a week, and more established UUs joined our fellowship as they retired to Durham and Chapel Hill. Time to grow again. Pledges got raised, and our search committee decided on a half-time minister shared with the Lynchburg, Virginia congregation. After 3 years, at least one crisis, and an expanding membership, we were ready to call a full-time minister. The congregation voted in Arvid Straube, now remembered in the dedicated chapel here. He was, when first hired, in his early 30s, and an excellent preacher. I myself turned attention elsewhere. Redford's research on hostility as a lethal component of cardiovascular disease had gone well, and eventually I joined with him, focusing on change. We took the message over time that anger kills and change is possible wherever we went. Meanwhile, ERUUF had grown enormously, moving again to an existing church and adding a new sanctuary, which is across the site, now the Fellowship Hall. A real crisis developed, but our associate minister restored glad tidings. With the COVID pandemic, ERUUF switched to internet services. Also of this decade was more emphasis on better integrating more African Americans, and our congregation assumed a growing diversity of membership, choirs, projects, and sermons. Accepting members with a variety of sexual orientations among consenting adults became another major focus, and ERUUF, as a result, added yet another group of very active volunteers. Involvement in community outreach and spiritual explorations now happen more often. There it rested for me until recently. As someone so old, would I be willing to show up a few Sunday afternoons so teens could get that aged perspective? Elders would stay seated, teens moving over one seat to address, what do I think is true? Turns out these teens were quite interesting, as well as open to figuring themselves out. And I found myself learning from them and asking afresh, what did I think was true? Will ERUUF ever have as its major thrust aligning with my current interest in shaping future AI, climate change, and the disparities between global north and global south? Probably not in my lifetime, and maybe never. I cannot even see what our collective future will be like. What I do know is that I'm very grateful to be part of ERUUF and to have had its support throughout my life journey. Hope that works for you too.
Good morning. I'm Stephen Franklin, and I'm a Unitarian Universalist mainly because of its first principle, the inherent worth and dignity of every person. I had considered becoming a UU for more than 30 years. However, it was in 1993 when my wife, Natalie, and I joined the UU congregation at Shelter Rock in Manhasset, Long Island. We joined because of this core principle and because we wanted to raise our children in a faith community that shared our values. Being interested in Unitarian Universalism for some time, why am I a member of ERUUF? At Shelter Rock, I was somewhat active, and the RE program there was excellent for our children. When we moved from Great Neck, New York to Chapel Hill in 2001, the RE director at Shelter Rock recommended ERUUF. Initially, I was not active here. This was due to work and family obligations. However, my children benefited significantly from the RE program at ERUUF. It was not until 2011 that I officially became a member and more involved. Then I experienced real change in community, personally, and spiritually. When I formally joined ERUUF, Reverend Deborah Kerr was the lead minister, and she presented me with a challenge. Join the newly created multicultural team. ERUUF could use your input. I joined, and I have been a member since. The team's leadership and members, then and now, are among the most creative, dedicated, and talented individuals with whom I've ever worked. They get things done. They have pushed my comfort zone to its limits and beyond in ways that I do not have time to describe. Nevertheless, this inspired me to be more involved in more activities than I would have considered earlier in my life. From facilitating discussion groups to even singing in the beloved community chorus. However, the biggest challenge and change has been in my personal and spiritual life. Self-examination and reflection has always been part of my life. However, changes in my early 50s and beyond have been most significant because of ERUUF and its people. My beliefs and assumptions have been challenged. I've been forced to reflect and re-examine previously held beliefs and views in a safe environment created here. Is ERUUF perfect? Far from it. However, that's not the point. Nothing is perfect, neither is ERUUF. I've learned from being raised Roman Catholic and subject to a Catholic education that there is no perfection among people. Yet all my experiences and beliefs have been blended, complemented, encouraged, and supported by people at ERUUF. There's no time to thank every individual at ERUUF who have helped guide my spiritual and personal growth. However, I would like to say to all of you from my past and present, collectively, thank you. As for my humble advice to all of you here now and those in the future, get involved. Be open to the opportunities for change at ERUUF. Lean into the challenges and be open to the talented individuals in this congregation. You may be surprised by what you will experience and learn. I like to think that I'm a better person in all my roles in life because of this and my experiences here.
Hello. When I first came to ERUUF in 1991, I had been searching for a spiritual home for more than a decade. I wanted to feel part of a community of shared values. I wanted a place for spiritual exploration and discovery. I wanted a home base for social justice in the wider world. Halfway through that first service, I started crying. I was home. That home has changed and grown a lot over the years. Services at that time were held in the fellowship hall. There was a house here where the sanctuary is now. Our then minister, Arvid Straube, was a thoughtful theologian who often preached on mindful presence in the here and now, gently suggesting that we look to this day. Our mindfulness bell transformed from an artillery shell to become an instrument of peace was a gift to the fellowship during Arvid's time. Even now, we ring it at the start of each service to call us to bring our attention and our intention to the present moment. The tapestries that often decorate the front of the sanctuary have these key words from a board retreat about 15 years ago, centering our mission in spirit, service, justice, and love. Behind the scenes, meanwhile, the policies that create the structure holding our community in accountability and continuity were written, tested, and revised in a living process of responsibility and responsiveness. Over time, our emphasis on welcome became a concerted effort to offer both a warm greeting to each person who comes through our door and true inclusion into co-creating community. Our deep roots as a community have been nurtured and tended by so many hands in so many ways, each contribution part of the whole. When we walk into this beautiful space on Sunday mornings, we are walking into the vision and the values, the gifts of treasure and time and work of all of the ERUUFians that came before us. They made this for us. We made this for us. We made this for you. And now, in a dark and scary time, we have this community, this utterly unique and specific creation, made of us by us, to sustain us. As our ministers so often emphasize, what is happening in our world is making the toxic lie of separateness transparent. We are deeply, profoundly interconnected. We are living the reality that our well-being depends on each other, and that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are all profoundly affected by the attacks on education, science, healthcare, democracy, and civil rights. We are affected by what happens to each other, and we need each other to respond. As we work to address the many problems in the wider world, we can call on our deep roots here, reminding ourselves who we are and who we want to be. We can call on the many gifts of those who came before. We can focus on being here, now, in the present moment, to see clearly, to respond thoughtfully, to act in integrity. We can call on our sturdy structures in the practices and policies that hold our community together when we are rattled and afraid. We can come to this beautiful campus for rest and refuge, for renewal and courage. We can use our courage and conviction to welcome everyone, to draw the circle wide, and to remain committed to nurturing the spirit, to ground our action in service, to stand unwaveringly for justice, and always, always to stand on the side of love.
Thank you, Virginia, Steve, and Susan, for your thoughtful reflections today. It is now time for the offering. It takes a lot to keep a large congregation running. If you have a tangible gift, please place it in the pouch as it's passed around, or point your device at the QR code and go to the giving portal. Thank you.
Look at my skin. Do you see only skin or the soul within? Do you see what's true? And look who I love. Do you view me as less, like none of the rest of me matters to you? Turn off the talk on the air and the voices who seem to just care about dividing and lighting us where
We give thanks for all the many gifts that support the building and sustaining of this beloved community today, especially the gift of wisdom and the gift of music. Wendy will now lead us in our closing hymn.
Please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing Love Will Guide Us, hymn number 131 in the gray hymnal. Lyrics are on the screen.
Our closing words today come from Rivka Lynn, Wisdom Through the Ages. As I sit at the feet of one, stories of old are told, lessons that were learned, funny memories, these are the things I need. As I sit at these feet, who have seen so much more than I, my life seems to take a new meaning. I am learning from the past. I can now change the future. Maybe so. Go in peace. Go in love.